Blue Scuti versus Gwafey in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, we are starting off pieces with the ZJI, the Zoological Justice Institute. And we are underway. On the left side, it is Blue Scuti coming in as the number 1 seed in this tournament. Got an average, we take what we do is the players play for 1 hour. Line's been here for Gwafey early on. Players play for 1 hour in a 39 capped game. And then they keep playing games, and then their top 2 scores are taken and averaged out. And Scuti was the number 1 seed with an average of 1.748. So his top 2 scores averaged over a rollover in an hour. So he was the number 1 seed. Out of the United States of America, Oklahoma, member of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame with a PB of 1.24 million. That's good. Was the former world record, now 4th on the overall high score list. He's a 4-time CTM Masters event winner, first time winning it in December of 2023. Then he ripped off 3 in a row in July, that was Lone Star, September, and October of 2024. 142 here for Blue Scuti. He's also working on a streak of, I think, 7 finals in a row in Masters. So he's been in 7 consecutive finals and still working on that streak. So every finals has had Scuti the last 7 major events we've done. Of course, a big year in 2004 for Blue Scuti. Made international headlines for his game crash accomplishment, the first ever to crash the game of Tetris. He's won the Kansas City Regional back-to-back 2023-2024. Won his own qualifier. Can you imagine hosting a qualifier just so you can win it? But he won that one, Stillwater 2024. Second in the Jonas Cup, CTWC's DAS Championship. Is also in the semis of the CTWC in 2023. So that is Blue Scuti. And also on the premier poll, the broadcasters and journalists poll, or ranking of Tetris players, Blue Scuti is the number 1 ranked player. And he got all the first place votes. So really undisputed. 269.040 for both players. Gwafey gets a Tetris. On the right side, it is Gwafey, seed number 9 out of the United States of America. Might be from the Northeast. I don't know. Wearing a lot of Boston gear. And came in the top 4 of the Northeast Regional. So that's some evidence that we're going to use to track him down. No, we're not going to do that. Seed number 9 out of the USA, PB 2.04 million for Gwafey, making his Masters top 16 debut. Won his way into the top 8 by taking out Alan Bott. He also made it into the gold bracket of CTWC in 2024. And his round 0 opponent was Cobalt, who ended up moving on. 431 for Gwafey, 373 for Blue Scuti. But Gwafey looked good in his first Masters match versus Alan Bott, a tough opponent. Looked composed, looked ready to go. Of course, now has to face a living legend, really. Just in 1 year, Blue Scuti has established himself as, really a first ballot Tetris Hall of Famer. 437 for Gwafey, 442 for Blue Scuti. Mr. Brain said, he would have ranked Dog as number 1. Well, aren't you quite the contrarian, Mr. Brain? 444 for Gwafey, 465 for Blue Scuti. I mean, even Vince ranked Scuti number one. So 490 for Gwafey. There is a Tetris 513. $539 for. Oh wait, Vince did not rank. He was not undisputed. He didn't. Oh, I didn't realize Miles got a first place vote. Wait, really? Oh, I could be wrong then. Maybe he didn't get all the votes. All right, sorry, Vince ranked Miles number one. Well, to be fair, Vince is probably not part of the online scene. He's probably never heard of Blue Scuti. 567 therefore Gwafey. 593 now after a Tetris. 606 for Blue Scuti. There's a Tetris for Blue Scuti. All right, so there. He did not get all the votes, but... Oh, well, maybe it was December poll I'm thinking of. Maybe I haven't looked at the January poll. Marframe says he got all the votes among the people who are correct. Yeah. See, people get very they get put off track by like very recent, like, you know, oh, well, somebody just won a tournament and now I'm filling it out, so now that person is the best. Like, you can't, I mean, that's the whole point of like asking people. If we just said, oh, who won the most recent tournament in the last 48 hours, like, we don't need people to vote for that because we can see who it was. So that's why we need people to use judgment. 826 for Gwafey, 786 for Blue Scuti. All right, Tetris for Gwafey, 859, 880 for Blue Scuti. I also heard that Vince was on the Hall of Fame voting committee. And apparently was the only one who didn't vote for Ichiro to get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So I don't know what Vince has got going on over there. 912 for Blue Scuti. Tetris for Blue Scuti, 948. How do you not rate Ichiro as a Baseball Hall of Famer? Like, who are you? And then there's always these guys that say, well, I don't think anyone should be 100%. You know, it's like, well, yeah, someone should, dummy. Like, don't be an idiot. 899 for Gwafey. Max out here for Blue Scuti on level 27. All right, long bar over Tetris Gwafey, 976. Tetris Blue Scuti, A70. There's another Tetris Gwafey. He's got the max out. He's on level 29. All right, Tetris Blue Scuti, B11. He's got the 1.1 here into 29. Gwafey going to miss a T-spin here on 29. Can't fault anybody for that. That is hard to do. 835 for him. Sorry, A35, right? So Blue Scuti about a 90,000 point lead over Gwafey. Yeah, I mean, I just take it as who has the best record of success over the last, you know, few months. That's how I take the question, right? It's like, I'm not putting, like, if we go, oh, we're doing the premier poll for baseball, I'm putting Babe Ruth on there. Well, no, we're rating like recent performance, like, but abstracting away from like the literally near term, like, just kind of myopic observation of like the last 2 days, which is what a lot of people do. C56 for Blue Scuti, A94 for Gwafey. Tetris for both. B41 Gwafey's back by 120,000 points. Like, we could just have a poll that says who won the most recent thing, and then everybody will agree who it was, and then that's the poll. Like, but that we don't need people to do that. Gwafey going to top out here at B88, a valiant effort, but Blue Scuti was ahead most of the way. So we'll watch Blue Scuti as he tries to work out this. And yeah, I think he just wants to have a like intentional top out. I think he's trying to work it down so we get an intentional top out. Game number 2 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Has anyone kept track of the linear Tetris champion? You mean like starting with at some point in the past and see who beat who? And I think someone was counting that. Is that what you mean? Like, let's say let's say Jonas was the first ever Tetris champion. So the first time someone beat Jonas in a match, which would I guess would have been Harry Hong, and then the next person who beat Harry Hong would take over the championship. Yeah, assuming you count Jonas as the champion. Now, that's not super interesting. I mean, it's not super interesting to take only CTWC, so you have to take all ELO events to do that. I think someone was doing that like way back in the day. Like that seems very familiar that someone was doing that, but that has not been kept up. So I think it would be cool to have a linear Tetris championship and see who it actually is. So if anybody wants to get on that, wants a project, let's say. But we can start with Jonas, and then I guess the first player to beat Jonas was Harry, and I don't know who beat Harry the next year, but I think wasn't it like a Harry Jonas rematch? So it would have been Jonas again. Excuse me. And then the first player to beat Jonas, I guess, would be Joseph. But it depends on what event you're talking about. So then who beat Joseph after that? So then you got to go and see how it, So it's not very interesting for those first 9 years because it just pretty much follows the did you or did you not, beat Jonas or be Jonas. Because there's no other events, right? 242 for Gwafey. Yeah, but once you get the online scene, then it gets super interesting. Rory has a sheet for it. Of course he does. But you can check over the Rory sheet for that. I think you have to go to the results page. The 4th tab will get you there. I wouldn't necessarily count that. See, I would argue on that sheet with Jonas losing to Schoolmaster because Jonas was like playing goofy foot so that like he wasn't really playing. But I guess that's a decision he made. 419 for Blue Scuti, 333 for Gwafey. He was trying to make it fairer. But that's just me. Oh, Gwafey, that T is not going to rotate, so that's going to... Oh, well, it kind of worked out. Kind of worked out for Gwafey. 342 here for him. 442 for Blue Scuti. Yeah, but I might dispute that Jonas and Schoolmaster one in Masters. That was really more of an exhibition. All right, Tetris for Gwafey, 392. Like, he wasn't trying to win. He was playing as a goof. All right, Scuti at 557, Gwafey at 438. All right, Tetris Gwafey 487, 603 transition for Blue Scuti. So over 100,000 point lead for Scuti, and Scuti's also got lines in hand as well. All right, Tetris Gwafey 563. All right, Gwafey uncovers that well. Looking for a bar real quick. No, just going to take the burns. Oh, this is tough. How is he flinging these pieces over? It's crazy. Wow, the patience, the discipline to wait these pieces out. Uncovers the well, waiting on the bar. Uncovers long bar in Tetris. Gwafey, 634. 779 for Blue Scuti. There's a Tetris Gwafey, 663. 808. Blue Scuti, he's ahead by about 140,000 points. All right, Gwafey with that misdrop, that's going to slow him down a little bit, and he really cannot afford to be slowed down in this game because he is back now by over 200,000 points relative to Blue Scuti. All right, Gwafey bringing this down. He's still got a gap there in column 3, but he's going to work one row off the bottom. And Scuti now almost up to a 300,000 point lead. Now, we have seen a 300,000 point lead Chasedown, this evening. Meme did it in her match. A57 for Blue Scuti, 771 for Gwafey. There's a Tetris for Gwafey. And we are just about into the 29 phase. Gwafey up pretty high. Long bar goes in. Tetris. 848 transition for Gwafey. B63 for Scuti. So Scuti with about a 300,000 point lead or so. Gwafey's board started to climb, and he's like, no, I'm not going to catch up. I don't know what to do. Board too high. And Gwafey going to top out. Scuti good in, look at that. Scuti good in game number 2. Sorry, guys. My voice is changing, guys. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Someone says, I mean, Vandy, maybe he's never had a nosebleed because he lives in a warm, wet climate. No, I mean, I lived in New England like most of my life and Wisconsin. So I've lived in, actually I lived in New England half of my life, right? 24 years. I'm 47 now. And then I lived in Wisconsin for 4 years after that, which is, you know, cold and dry. And then I lived in, Las Vegas, which is warm and dry. And I think Texas is fairly dry too, right? So, you know, I'm not saying I'm a better, hardier person because I've never had a nosebleed. I just don't get it. Like, and we just like have a nosebleed and it's fine. And we're just like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm just bleeding out of my head. It's fine. It'll stop. Like, what? Call an ambulance. All right. Tetris there for Gwafey, 139, 137 for Blue Scuti. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. I just never had a nosebleed. Now I kind of want one. How do I make it happen? I mean, this is a universal human experience that I'm missing out on. All right, Tetris gets over for Gwafey, 208, 184 for Blue Scuti. Have someone punch you in the nose? Well, I'm at risk of that all the time. All right, pretty much tied in lines and score. I would call an ambulance if I had a nosebleed. I wouldn't know. How do I know if this is like just a nosebleed or just like literally, oh yeah, it's just a huge crack in your skull. Don't worry. I don't know the difference. Especially not having had one and then all of a sudden having had one. Now, I would be concerned. All right, Gwafey gonna get a Tetris here, 304, 300 for Blue. Scuti Longbarn goes over. Tetris for Scuti. Gwafey needs to win this one to stay in. He's played pretty well so far in his Masters Top 16 debut. Right now, crazy spire and like this weird tuning fork at the top of his stack that he had to fill in with a T. So Gwafey with a little bit of work to do to get this board back in order. 391 here for Blue Scuti. All right, this is going to be really tough for Gwafey. But he's had some crazy digs so far in this broadcast. So very impressive. We'll see. And yeah, he's going to get a dirty out of it. Nice. 364 for Gwafey. Oh, look at the pullback and the adjustment and the other dirty Tetris. So he's not that far behind. Despite all this, he is not that far behind. He's less than a Tetris behind Scuti right now. Now, he's a little bit ahead further in the sequence, but not that far behind. Scuti gets a long bar to fill in the Vits and a long bar to get the Tetris he's set up again. Gwafey with this crazy spire. Let's see what he can do to try to stay out of this. I mean, I won't be surprised when he gets out of it, that's for sure. Because he's been incredible at these digs and this survival in this tournament. The long bar goes in. There's a nice triple to bring this down. I mean, this kid is on another planet with this survival. Oh, and he's going for it. He's like, no, I'm going for another dirty Tetris. I will survive anything. And Longbar goes in and another Tetris, and he's going for another dirty Tetris here. And he gets it. 454 for Gwafey. Now, you got to imagine 19 coming up. He's got to be wary of that. And he's like, no, I am not. It's 19. Who cares? I'm just going to keep going. He's like, oh, no, sir. I prefer doing things my own way. He is up high on that board, and he's going to be high when he transitions into 19. So this is going to be tough. We'll see what he can do. Oh, my God, what a great piece right there. He uncovers Longbar, goes over another dirty. So he's probably going to survive this. My word. 496 for Gwafey, the survival. And the chutzpah for this kid to go for those dirties. Very impressive. He's set up now column 3, and he gets it. 527. 642 for Blue Scuti. FCR Play says, this is so wrong and correct at the same time. Yeah, I agree. That is bonkers. And, you know, in honor of this guy, I mean, we got to play the I prefer doing things my own way song. Tetris for Gwafey, 610. 724 for Blue Scuti. Andrew Meep says, bros playing like Scuti against Scuti. Yeah, I mean, that does remind me of like early Scuti, you know, when he was just totally unhinged back in the days, you know. But Scuti's reined it in a little bit, right? He's selective now. He can do it, but he's selective. Gwafey, yeah, shades of young Scuti. Tetris for Gwafey, 730. 835 for Scuti. I know, young Scuti. Scuti's still young. But, you know, green Scuti. Not blue Scuti, but green Scuti. $895 for Blue Scuti. Tetris for Gwafey, 822. You know, he's only back by 70,000 points now. He is ahead by 14 lines. But he's still within shouting distance. Those squares are just such a mess. Oh, no. And he's going to hang the J. Can he bring this down? No. And oh, no, he flew too close to the sun, Gwafey. The squares, he just felt locked into putting those in a tower. And I don't know. This kid is exciting. I am excited to see him again in Masters. I want to see him in Masters again and see what he can do. But, man, what a debut here from Gwafey. Takes out Allenbot in his first ever Masters match and really impresses here in this match against Scuti. Even though it was a sweep, you really saw something from Gwafey here. So, pretty impressive debut. All right, we'll watch Scuti see what he can do with this start here. But GG's to you, Gwafey. And you know what? You played through having a bloody face. Your whole face was just pouring out blood. Meanwhile, you're playing Tetris. So GG's to you. Well, I have a feeling this is not going to be the last we see of Gwafey in this event. I mean, what the heck? It's probably one of the best debuts I've seen in a long time. All right, we'll watch Scuti finish this out. Yeah, big ups to Gwafey. He did amazing. That Gwafey Allenbot, was that 3-0? Or is that 3-1? I forget. 3-1. Thank you. All right, we're going to watch Scuti play this out, because why not? What else we got to do? Yeah, very respectable debut, says FCR. More than respectable. I would say auspicious. I mean, he's got good makeup there. You know what I mean? That's what they say in baseball players. He has good makeup. Like, just very poised, willing to take the chances. All right, Tetris Scuti at E66, the 1.4. With that makeup. Well, you know what I mean. You probably don't, but that's right. And also, to pull that off against the nearly undisputed best player in all of Tetris right now, number 1 ranked in seed and in the premier poll, and just fearless. So that was amazing. All right, Scuti has the rollover, level 38. This is just, it's kind of like low pace for Scuti in a low pace, just a low rollover for Scuti into 39. GG Scuti, you'll be moving on to the top 4. You'll be taking on me. That is going to be a match. It's like a replay of everything in Kansas City. And so, yeah, that is going to be a pretty hype match. GG's to you, Scuti, and thanks again for your flexibility and rescheduling all this. Really appreciate that. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.